Welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you a little bit about Google Classroom, such as how to set up your classes, how to create and monitor assignments including due dates and points, collecting assignments, giving feedback to students including suggestions and comments, as well as grades, and then a couple other tips and tricks that I've figured out so far with using this. So the first thing you see here is my home screen after you sign in with your account. And this shows you all of the classes that I have currently. Along with that, it tells you the class number, the block number, the number of students, and you see some upcoming assignments. These are quick links to go to the assignments that are happening that are due more recently. Also on the right side here, you can rename the class or delete the class altogether. If I had another class join me, I would press up here and I would create that class. So this is how I actually created them in the first place, was using that plus button. So I'm just going to navigate to one of my classes to show you what it looked like from the teacher's view inside of the classroom. So here's Tech 3. This is my smallest class, only has 10 students in it. I wish they were all that case now. And as you go to the page, you see up at the top here the header is just the class theme that's totally random. You can pick different pictures if you'd like, and it's color coded. And what you're seeing here is the stream, and this is a little bit different what the students see. They will see all the items in the stream, but some of them would look different. I have the teacher view, so I can edit assignments and delete assignments. They can make announcements, the students can, they can make postings to share with the class, but they don't have the ability to create these assignments that the teachers do. Now when you first set up your class, you want to add the students, so you can either give them the class code, which is over here on the side, and they can enter it themselves in order to join the class, or you can invite them. So here's the students that are in my class already. You press the invite button and it searches your school directory, your Google Apps for Education directory, and then it would allow you to select and invite the student to add your class. Now if you have email turned on for your GAF account, you can actually email the students really quickly right here, maybe to remind them of an assignment or something that they're missing. Our particular school does not have that feature turned on for students, so it's not something that we use. Going back to the stream here, this is a handy feature. It shows you the upcoming assignments as well as their due dates when they're due. So for example, this writing an argument assignment is due today, assignment number 3, and I would be able to find it in the stream if I scroll down, but as you can see, when a lot of things go in the stream, you start to lose track of them. So that's why this is handy to jump between upcoming assignments. So I'm going to go check out assignment 3. And now you'll notice that I'm in the assignment window. And this shows me a couple of things here. It shows me the status. Real quickly, we're looking at the detail. This is what I assign to the students. It's basically they're writing an argument, as well as it shows them the possible grade that they can get, and it has a link to the Google Doc where I actually created this assignment. I copied and pasted it directly into the assignment here in order to make it more accessible for the students, so they didn't have to go to the Google to the document and have their own document open as well. I just showed them how they can use the details and have this window open to refer to. And right up here is the status, so I can see that all 10 students in this class have completed this. And 0 of them are not done. So back to the assignment status here, we'll see all the students as well as if I entered a grade for them or not. And there's this button up here you can see, it's called return. So here's one student's assignment, the writing an argument assignment. It hasn't been graded yet. So I'm just going to show you how when I click on it, it takes me to her drive and shows me that document. Now the cool thing is when she turned it in, it transferred permission, or I'm sorry, ownership of this document to me. So as soon as she turns it in or submits this assignment, it's kind of out of her drive. So now, in terms of, it's out of her ownership rather. So she would have to unsubmit this if she wanted to make changes at this point. When she turns it in, it kind of locks it. It says you don't have permission to make any changes right now. And so now she can't make any additional changes. As you can see, she did an hour ago. So I would go through here and I would read it. I can give her some feedback too. So maybe I would say, you know, about this, I can give her a comment and say, you know, interesting point. Interesting point, and leave it as a comment for her. Another cool thing about the feedback is that you can give suggestions. So right now it's in editing mode, so if I were to make a suggestion on the screen, it would actually change the document. But what I'm going to do is change it to suggestions. So if I wanted to just change something here, so it's hard to, this is actually a good writer here, so it's hard to find one at the time. So let's just say that I wanted to erase this sentence. What I can do is I make the change, and it just leaves it as a suggestion for her. So it's you know, crossed out, and over on the side here I'm giving her the feedback. Maybe she should delete that. And when it gets transferred back to her ownership, she can accept my suggestion, or she can reject my suggestion, and I'm going to reject it here. So the cool part about that is it doesn't actually make the change. It just leaves it almost as a, you know, some feedback for her that she can immediately choose to use or choose to disregard. So anyway, I would go through, I would grade this, and then I could go back to her submission and give her her grade. Now you'll also notice that it is not yet returned to her. So again, I still have ownership of this particular document. Also a nice feature, you can give her a comment like, great job. And I can post that comment to her so she can see it attached to this assignment. Now, once I would go through and do everything, I would return it to her. As you can see, this one, I have returned her grade already. I got a chance to read through her assignment, and I gave her the credit that she deserved, and I already returned it to her, allowing her ownership of that document where she can now make any edits to it, you know, even delete it or whatever she wants to do with it at this point. But all these other ones that are done are in my possession or my ownership, unless they are unsubmitted by the student. So that would be an example of how you could go in and give some feedback or grade an assignment. And I think it's been really helpful so far in terms of giving those comments and that feedback, just for like grammatical things, and just to give them an idea of, you know, what they can change about their writing. So far so good. So anyway, back to the assignment details. Let's say I want to make a change, like I'm going to give them an extra day to work on this. That's what this settings tab's for. I can edit the assignment. And one thing you can do with the assignment is, if it'll let me scroll down here, no, sorry about that. One thing it should let me do with that is to edit the date. Oh goodness, okay. All right, here we go. Let's try it from here. So we're going to go in and we're going to edit the assignment, and we're going to change the due date. So this is pretty handy. It lets you choose, you know, what date you want to assign it for, and then you could even add a time if you wanted to lock it in there, and therefore making sure that everybody has it turned in by a certain time. So what the advantage that I've seen of this is that when a student does turn something in late, it's flagged for you. So I'm trying to find an example one that I know it's in here somewhere. Anyway, so if I saw the ones who were done, if somebody had submitted it late, it would put it a little red late symbol right here. So actually these guys are all good. I apologize, I can't find it right now, but it would say late right next to it, and that would let me know, maybe a point off if punctuality is part of your grading scale. Okay, now how do I create an assignment? Pretty simply, I press the assignment inside the stream. And the other cool part is that you can, once you have your assignment in here, you can attach files that you've created. You could attach a Google Drive item, a YouTube video, or a link to a website. And then when I have one assignment made in one class, I can also assign it to other classes just by clicking these boxes, and it'll let me know, that I've selected 3 classes to assign this to. And then when I press assign, it would post it to the stream of all those classes, and then it would also, as the due date approached, populate the assignment window over here. So it's really simple to create assignments. The key is to make good assignments, of course, and assignments that are easy for the students to navigate to and to understand through Google, through the Google Docs platforms here. Okay, so far I've made some presentation assignments. I've made spreadsheets, Google Sheets assignments, and I've used just regular document assignments. Now, one feature that I've seen added to Classroom since I've started using it is this About section, which I'm a pretty big fan of. So this just gives a little bit of information about the class, and it also allows you to add materials. So you'll see I put the class syllabus in here and the class website. And again, I could also just put maybe copies of each of the assignments in here. The advantage that I see of this feature is that it's important information that can get lost in the stream. In terms of like if you're looking for, when I first made the posting about the class website, it was way back on July 9th, and since then I have all this stuff in the stream. So if a student really wanted to jump over to the class website, they would have to find it in the stream, or they could just go to the About section. So that's having those materials handy. I could definitely see like putting readings in there, or putting in important links to web resources or whatever types of things you think you might be using in there. So that's about it for today. Another great feature so far is the send feedback. I've suggested a few things. Google feedback here. One thing that I don't like so far is that when you do collect assignments, they are listed by the student's first name instead of last name, and just from personal preference and the way I keep my grade book, I always do it by last name. So don't think that they have changed that yet, but maybe it'll change by the time you're watching this video. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and thank you for your time. Enjoy using Google Classroom, and let's see what you can come up with.